It's at this point that I'm getting really worried about Skyrim's storytelling capabilities because that was just fucking awful. It's really disheartening that a game I love so much has storylines so bad. Remember how I complained that the main quest had way too much padding with nothing of real consequence happening? Yeah, well, this storyline has nothing of real consequence happening and no padding. It's like a skeleton of a story, the bare bones, like if someone tried to quickly explain the plot of something to you in a couple of sentences. That's what this feels like. Right, so we enroll in the Mage's College after showing that we have some proficiency with magic. We're given a quick tour of our digs and then sent off to our first lesson. Our fellow students are all whining arsebags, but that's not the problem, because after this we'll never really hear from them ever again or ever get to know them in any capacity. This first lesson consists of our teacher making me use a spell I already know, then calling it a day. What the shit? There's no way standard college lessons can be this short. Clearly this man just hates his job and wanted to get on the booze ASAP. Anyway, he calls us all to meet up in a few hours' time to delve into a dangerous ruin, because I guess that's standard education round here. We all meet up and we're given the task of searching for enchanted items. We just so happen to manage to find the most powerful thing in all of existence. God knows how nobody else found this because it wasn't well hidden at all, but there you go. We've found this shit-hot super thing. What is this thing anyway? A big glowing sphere of magicalness, but where did it come from? What did it do? Oh well, I'm sure that's a mystery that will be solved later, right? Oh yeah, we also get contacted by a member of something called the Psijic Order who warn us of coming doom! Just like with the blue glowy sphere, I'm sure the Psijic Order will be explained and have some kind of meaningful relevance later on. So we get back to the college and meet our Archmage, who has the personality of a lobster, and we also meet Ancano, resident obvious bad guy, who is a Thalmor advisor. The big glowy ball is shipped to the college and the Psijic bloke again tells us of coming doom, but it is vague as fuck. Okay, so this big glowy ball, whatever it is apparently really powerful and dangerous, right? And it's going to cause problems, okay? At this point, the storyline has stopped bothering to pretend we're a student of the Mage's College, because aside from that first lesson and our little spelunking expedition, we never do anything college-related again and are just doing our best to stop the incredibly vague doom from happening at this point. So we meet with the Augur of Dun Lane, who I'm guessing is a student who lost his corporeal form in an accident, but like everything else in this infernal storyline, it's never actually explained. The Augur of Dun Lane is another line of vague bastards who assures us that doom is coming because of the glowy ball thing, and we need to find the Staff of Magnus to stop whatever it is we're supposed to be worrying about. So it turns out that nobody knows where the Staff of Magnus is, but some other mage dudes called the Synod might have an idea, so we go to a ruin and meet them, and we meet the last surviving Synod member, who is also all about the doom! But from him we discern this staff we need, for some reason, is in Labyrinthian. So rather than go to Labyrinthium, we have to go back to the college first for no reason other than for a convenient way for us to show that doom is happening. Yes, and Kano, the guy who might as well have had "I'm a bad guy" tattooed to his head, is using the big glowy thing for something. I don't know what, but there's a really giant bubble around him, so he's all untouchable and shit, and a few mildly annoying, not really dangerous at all, wraith-like things are flying about Winterhold. So yeah, that's going on. We rush off to get the staff, and we find out a bit about the Archmage's adventures from when he was alive. Did I mention he's dead now? Yeah, he's dead. He died earlier. Don't you miss him? Also, we're told that Labyrinthium was very personal to him. Seems he once tried to get the staff himself, but fucked up. Okay, does this have anything to do with anything? I don't know what the point of this backstory is, because it doesn't serve the current plot in any way, nor does it really give us any insight on his character, because when he was alive he didn't have a character. Anyway, we've got the staff and we go back to kill Ancano, and now we're Archmage, boom, the end. What the fuck was that? I mean, what was that? In Oblivion, we had to really work our way through the ranks, being a mage apprentice, doing odd jobs till we gained enough recommendations to gain admittance to the university itself. Now, we didn't get taught much in Oblivion either, but in Oblivion, the university was clearly designed to be a place of personal and independent study. It was just a place with all the resources necessary to do your own research. In this college, there's clearly students, and there's clearly an educational system based on lessons, and yet we see bloody none of it. Our fellow students, who perhaps could have become our Rons and Hermiones, had there been any substantial story arc, are instead never seen again during the main quest, instead just delegated to side quest duty, and the side quests don't even have a very college education-y flavour to them either. So the story fails firsthand in that it totally disregards its own setting. And then there's the big glowy thing, the big MacGuffin of the story. We find it after being a student for like 5 minutes, and then everyone and their mums is telling us how dangerous it is, but what is it? Where does it come from, and more importantly, what does it do? Okay, when Ancano channeled it, he got a pretty strong magical shield over himself personally, and then another bubble-like shield, and could summon a few pesky annoying things. What's doomy about that? What was the big threat? And when the Psijic Order come to safeguard it, because Skyrim is not ready for such a power, we must also ask who the fuck are these people? Okay, so we get that they're a group of mages who believe magic shouldn't be treated lightly, and they all live on some island. But what? For a group that's quite important to this, I hesitate to call it a story, they're really not given any real explanation or personality whatsoever. And finally, Ancano. Fucking Ancano. Is there a lazier villain in all of fiction? So he's part of the Thalmor, who we already know are bad guys, but whereas the Thalmor as a unit are quite interesting and have a pretty unique method of wanting to destroy all mankind, this guy just lurks around being sinister until you get this MacGuffin, and then wahaha, it's time for me to be evil! I'd ask who that other high elf was that attacked us in Labyrinthian, but that would imply I can even still remember that inconsequential little fuck. This whole story just feels like there's nothing in it. It's like the narrative equivalent of coming before you pull your trousers down. And after the really immersive romp that was Oblivion's questline, where you at least felt like a lowly apprentice for a good while before the central conflict started going off, it's just a really poor effort. Thank you for listening. Let's hope Skyrim improves with the companion questline.